week's stream. My name is Aurélien and we'll be talking about Fedora infrastructure applications. All right, let's get started. So first, yes, let me adjust this. Okay, what do we have today? Let me share the screen. All right, so that's the usual easy fixes page. You know how it works. And yeah, let's look at what we can find. I know there's a couple that have been added this week because I've set the tag myself. I think we're going to look at MirrorManager because there's like two things that we could look at. One is a performance optimization for the front page, well, the mirror page, which is still very slow. I started looking at that this morning and there might be something to improve on there. And the other one would be to add search filters for the front page. Let me show you what it looks like. If I go to MirrorManager, here there's a mirrors page and I just clicked on it, right? And it's long. Like it took a few seconds to get there. So the requester wanted to have a country filter because otherwise it's too much of a pain to go through all of them, through all the pages, which all took a long time to load, etc., etc. So first let me check that I can reproduce the slowness of the page in staging. So let me show you, let me try that. Because we have a mirrormanager.stg.fedora.project.org. Let's go to mirrors, let's see what it looks like. 3, 4, yeah, 4 seconds, okay. That's fine, we can possibly improve that because it's a truncated page, so it should be fast. I have started looking at that. And I've identified some queries that do not use indexes. So actually the fields that are being selected on have indexes, but not the search filters, not the order by columns. And those need to have they need to have an index as well. So I'm not sure I can actually show you that because that's the log. Let me show you if I can see. Yeah, I'm not sure you can actually see that properly, but that's an explain analyze command from the production database server. Yeah, that's an explain analyze output from the slow, how's it called? Slow queries log from PostgreSQL. And so it shows me that there's, well, this query is very long. It's taking 45 seconds. And yeah, it's just very, very long. I'm not sure that's actually the latest one. It is. Let's look if PostgreSQL has saved that. Yeah, there's one here. Yeah. So I wanted to look at what was causing the issue here. I see that we have a sort key here, host.country and host.name that do not have indexes. There's a sex scan here. There's parallel sex scan here. UpToDate does have an index, so that's good. So I've sorted out, I've extracted, I'd say, a few places that would benefit from having an index. But I'd like to test them real time with you. So I'll show you what I've changed. I've added indexes basically on a few columns. I want to try the name and the country here on the host because I want to make sure that it's well, let's see if it's actually what makes this query so slow. So I'm gonna go to the staging host. All right. Okay. Oh. All right, that's my column. Let's see if I can, well, before I do that, I'd like to check if I have logged slow queries in there. Yeah, it's not obvious. But it is kind of slow. Let's try to create an index and see if it speeds things up. Before that, I had the long query. I had a long query that I had available here, and I'd like to maybe redo this. Huh. Ah, wrong. Sorry. That's the work that I was doing this morning. This is short, this is short, this is still very short. Okay, this is longer. It's been broken up in multiple lines, which is a little bit of a pain. There you go. All right, what do you think? Oh, it's taking a long time to execute. That's good. Everything that takes a long time to execute is a good excuse to prepare some tea. So there you go. Tea. Okay, so it's quite long execution time. I'm looking for the sex scans in there. The sort method is quick sort. Let's see if we can improve this by adding indexes. So how do you add indexes in PostgreSQL? That's a good question. I don't remember by heart. Let's look. So how do you do a create index, please? Please give me the docs. So create index on create index host name on hosts. Do you have examples, please? Ah, yeah, that's parenthesis. Hey, how you doing? So, name, yeah. Ah, yeah, it's Friday, right? So I guess that's kind of expected. Nice to see you here. So I'm trying to optimize the page, the mirrors page on MirrorManager. Yeah, there's the whole Fedora 42 release stress, yeah, with the almost last minute recall. But yeah, that was fun. For some definitions of fun, I guess. So let's add that. Okay. And I'll add one. I'm not spending 2 days writing a fix for it. Oh yeah. Ah, yep. That's less fun. Yeah, I'll have a look at that later. Oh. Oh yes, it's not host country. Not host country, but then it's country IDX. There you go. Okay. So now let's see if this long query is any faster. Doesn't look so. So is MirrorManager getting a new fancy front end? That's not in the plans. It has got a new theme, I think, recently. But no, it doesn't have a new fancy front end now. There's just people who find it hard to navigate, which I totally understand. Maybe support for per file mirror redirection. Oh, that. Oh yeah, that part is not a part that I control. So in MirrorManager, there's been so in MirrorManager there's different components, and there used to be a single one, and there's the part that redirects, or like that. Let's just say that there's like two main components right now. It's actually three, but there's two main components right now. There's MirrorManager, the applications where people set their mirrors up and that crawls the mirrors, etc., and fills the database. And there's a part called MirrorList server, that is a Rust-based program that runs and reads a database. Well, not the database, but reads an optimized version dump of the database, I should say. And that's what responds to DNF. And so we have a couple of those running in on the proxies. So if you want to do this sort of per file mirror redirection, you'll have to do that in MirrorList server. This part is not something that I know. It's all entirely opaque to me. So I'm only looking at the main application, the main front end. Well, not the front end, but the main thing, basically. Add Infra support for Infra to support this kind of feature. So what's that? Metadata function request for each file. So the idea is that we could request repo.md.xml files from the main server, and then transparently request every other file via metalink. Okay. So, and right now we are using metalink to get everything, right? Including repo.md. Yeah. Okay. So that will let us get repo.md from a more trusted place, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Consistent metadata fetching. Right, would have, yeah, that would be more useful for, I think, Apple or CenterStream, or like the yep. Well, I haven't heard of that in MirrorManager itself. Yes, that's correct. And then right, and then they would get them from the mirrors whenever one has synchronized already. Yep. Yeah. Well, there's actually very few people who know about MirrorManager. Um, there is so I know a little bit of it, the Python part, because I did quite a bit of work. I think it was last year to make it work on more recent versions of Rail. But there's also the front end part that only Adrian knows about. So basically, it's me on or Adrian basically, and there's parts of MirrorManager that I think I know better than Adrian right now, because there's part that he preferred rewriting in Rust rather than fixing in Python, which, seeing how it was written in Python, I could understand that. And there's parts of well, all the rest parts I don't know. So actually, if really, I mean, something like MirrorManager would really need either a big rewrite or large improvements, even maybe in the data model, because there's things that are duplicated. There's places where things are stored as JSON blobs in the database, and then they're huge, and it makes things more complex to query, or to query fast at least. So there's a lot of places that would need improvement. But of course, none of us is doing that 100% of their time. So Adrian has other things, and me too. So all right, so yeah, I mean, there's still places in MirrorManager where you see copyrights by Matt Dumsh, who used to write the first MirrorManager-like thing in Shell. So it has a history. Anyway. So it didn't really improve anything. I'm not sure how I should actually read that. MirrorBrain is gone, as are the rest of them. Yeah. Okay, so maybe adding those two reducts is not gonna help. MirrorBrain, I heard that one before, but I didn't really investigate. So this. Never put it to Python 3, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mod auto index MB. Oh, okay. So they have an Apache module. Okay. So is there any other mirror managing system that people use these days? It used to be used in OpenSUSE. No, it's not, and we're investing CDN stuff there. Yeah. Right, I think the CDN have made this sort of application or solution less critical. Yes, Alma Linux has their own. They have something indeed. They wanted to consider MirrorManager, but then looked at it and said, "Nope, we're gonna make another one." Yeah. I know. There's I've heard of that. Like there was a presentation by Jonathan at some point, and I looked at it, but yeah, that's the one. Yeah, to be honest, we need something. We need to. That would mean we need to put a lot of work in MirrorManager to make it up, bring it up to speed to new features that we might want, and maybe even get people to contribute to it. Again, it's not in a great state. Or we should maybe design something new. I don't know. Not a big fan of rewriting something that isn't really entirely dead. So I think there's still, but I mean, rewriting something or improving the existing code base is going to be a lot of work. And right now, not a lot of people work on that. Like, there's like 2 people who know a little bit about how it works, and that's basically it. Okay. So I don't know what is taking so long in this query. What if I thought that mirror cache from OpenSUSE, but yeah, it's Perl. Yeah, which isn't going to make things any easier for us to contribute to. Like if I remove the distinct, what happens? Oh yeah, it's gonna fail. Oh no, it doesn't fail. Well, it's not exactly as bad. MirrorManager 3 wouldn't be a terrible idea. Yeah. I think we need to gather the requirements very well, because there's been a lot of there's been a lot of things that have been bolted upon MirrorManager, and we make it try to do things that it wasn't really designed to do, and yeah, it's not easy. As a result, we have hacks here and there. We have to make SQL requests directly in the database to change things. It's really, it's not great. There's things that in MirrorManager that need deprecation and removal, such as Internet 2, and having per-file download redirections would be great, also for the cloud images and WSL images and stuff. Yep, that would be, I think that would be only necessary for, it would be only necessary to change the Rust, the mirrorless server part. Everyone is pulling for the master server? Really? I mean, everyone is pulling the... Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. But isn't that because we don't have any mirrors for it? In what category is that? WSL. I see. Okay. Right. You'd need to have an entire product or category in MirrorManager to get this right. Because in MirrorManager you're requesting a distribution and a version, and that gives you the meta link. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if somebody knows Rust and wants to look at the redirection, it's available. It's at I think Adrian. Yes, it's mirrorless server right here. I think that's the one. It's just that I don't understand Rust, so. And by the way, there's a lot of claims about performance that should be relativized, but there isn't a place for that. But it would be great if we had a, like, I don't think there's currently a place to gather requirements for new stuff in the infrastructure, and I think we should have that. Possibly, I suppose the wiki would be a place. So, wait, no. Yeah. Infrastructure, right, without the slash. So, I think we could have some sort of place in there to gather requirements. Yeah. I mean, that's a good example, you know. There's Fedora services here. Okay, services, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Infrastructure projects. There you go. Okay, so I think that would be it. MirrorManager. Oh, there's one here. Yeah, I'm not working on that anymore. Yeah. So we should have like a separate page for it, which is what I'm asking you. Yeah. That was like a year ago or something. Yeah, it's not up to date. So let's try something down here, okay? Okay. Work on recent Python versions and run in OpenShift in 2023, possibly 2024. I don't know. What is this? Let's look at the history. Yeah, that's 24. Right. Unmet needs with the current version of MirrorManager. Let's discuss a revamp here. And that's going to be I don't remember the syntax here. Blah blah blah. I know. I want to make a link to a page that doesn't exist, and that's gonna be, yeah, exactly. So yes, here, target page or URL text to display. Okay, that's gonna be infrastructure projects MirrorManager. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, there you go. That wasn't so hard. Okay. All right. Oh, that's done actually. Oh, there's a lot of things to edit here. So RAR, I'm not sure whether it's still valid. Keycloak prototype. Oh, that's kind of old, but we still need to do that. Puddlers is done. Badges. Right. Yeah, we've renounced rewriting it because the current system is sufficient. But I've made a lot of changes to adjust it. So anyway, to adjust it to what Fedora messaging can do now. So that is done. Done. All right. What else? Easy fixes. Yes, that's still valid. There's still some possible project on this, if somebody wants to look at it. Webhook to Fedora messaging gateway. Yes, that has been done. Nice. Okay, kernel test. Oh, did I do that? Huh, interesting. Looks like I added something. Maybe I looked at the kernel test code base and was like, what is this? Okay, cool. So let's look at this. Okay. How do you do headers? I suppose you do it with this. Let's discuss things here. Okay, well, what do we want in there? I have something in my clipboard that I forgot to. No, I don't. Okay, cool. Requirements, blah 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 blah. Okay. Now we can discuss this here. Projects. Oh, just a minor edit. On the MirrorManager 3 page. Well, I should have named it MirrorManager 3. Can I rename things now? Or is it too late? Move. Woohoo, nice. Can I do this? New title. Reason. Well, no. Yes, 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 it is. It is not so bad, actually. Ooh, okay. And this points to the old one, of course. Yeah, it wouldn't edit the links retroactively, right? Yeah, it just adds a redirect. Okay, yeah. Yeah, moin. Yes. Or I did use a DocuWiki for a while also. That's anyway. Okay. Well, okay, we can talk about MirrorManager here then. In that case. So per file redirects. And of course, I'm going to link to this here. So you don't have to do it yourself. Okay. All right. Let's go back to my query, which is very slow and I still don't know why. So it takes 20 seconds. I don't know why there's a distinct here, actually. What am I trying to do? So if I look at MirrorManager's mirrors page, which is here, yes, this thing takes quite a few seconds to load, like about 5 seconds, and it's already a paginated page, so it should be fast. So something is not going right. I mean, it's only extracting 20 records. It's weird. So it's probably missing some index somewhere, or the query is wrong. Yeah, it's a lot of joins because it's trying to only get the mirrors that are up to date. Which is weird, I don't know why it does that. Because if I look at the query, yes, it's not really readable. I'm gonna try and make that bigger. The query here is it's not even the entire query because I've cut and pasted. It's actually selecting. It's actually way worse than that. Okay, just let me get to the other one. I know it logs. I know I have logs for this query, host category. There's the sex scan. Okay. That's a count. That's not the one that I'm looking for. There you go. Okay. It does because it's trying to not show inactive mirrors for users to click through. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, inactive mirrors are easy to get. You just remove those that have user active set to true in the host. That's easy. What it's doing is more than that. It's looking through to the directories and making sure that the directories are up to date. Like all the directories that are covered by this host have to be up to date. If I try to explain this, yes, cut and paste, of course that won't work. No. Yeah. Still something wrong? Yes. It's easy to end up with partial mirrors that look broken. Yeah. I mean, if we select, oh, that's our query. Okay, it's still slow. But yeah. So the problem is, yeah, if I remove the hosted actives from this list, I might still get partial mirrors. So I used to know how to read this thing. Sex scan. I know sex scans are bad. But that's a... There's a unique here. The unique seems bad. There's a sort that looks big. Sort key on host.id. Well, that's a primary key, so I'm pretty sure it has an index. Then it gathers from 2 workers. There's a hash aggregate. Is this bad? A join. There's a parallel sex scan on host category dir on the up-to-date filter, but I know that up-to-date has an index. So why is it a parallel sex scan? Those are the hash condition on... That's IDs, that's all foreign keys and primary keys, so it's all indexed. Oh, version ID. So repository.version... No, version ID is a foreign key, so it's indexed. Hash join. Okay. Are we using unique keys for each thing? Look up unindexed keys. Well, the things that we are looking up, I can go through all the requests, like all the elements in the query, and see if they have indexes. That would be easy. So the query is, I'm gonna make this simpler because it's kind of unreadable right now because of SQL Alchemy makes things complex. Okay, I don't actually need this entire thing. That's just renaming columns. Host.start from host where host ID in, and then there we go again. So it joins on. So all these, they are primary keys. And that's a foreign key, so it's going to be indexed. Let's go to the filters. Host.private. Let's look at host.private, okay? Well, actually, we have host private, we have admin active, user active. Okay, yeah. So in host we have no indexes, so that's bad. Let's create indexes, right? We want private. Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's not great. The only index we have is a unique index on seat ID and name. That's not great. So it used to be somewhere around the 40 seconds in the explain analyze. So create index. So what did we want, right? We wanted private, admin active, user active. Oh, on host, sorry. There you go. Okay. User active. What else did we want? We have private, admin active, user active. That's site.private, site.user active, site.admin active. Okay, fine, we can do the same. And then there's host category url.private. Should I skip site? Maybe I should. Wait, let me report that here while I'm still doing this. So private, oh, that's so bad. Admin active and user active, of course. Same goes for sites. So private, admin active, user active. Let me create the indexes now. A site can be private? Yeah, probably. Okay. I mean, that's the sort of thing, I've seen that many times while working on MirrorManager and looking at the code and the queries. And there was like, things were so unoptimized everywhere, all over the place. We were requesting gigantic blobs from the database and then realizing that it was very slow. While we didn't actually use them, it's just that we were doing a select star and getting everything instead of excluding the columns that we didn't need to. And then people were like, oh, MirrorManager is very slow. Let's rewrite it in Rust. Anyway. So we also have host category url.private. Let's see if it has an index. Surprise, surprise, no index. What was it named? Private. Yes, I agree with that one. It's just that it was really twisted code, like not twisted in the sense of Python twisted code, but the code was really hard to understand. Yeah. What did I miss? On, of course. An all Python code base that doesn't suck would make community adoption also much better. Yes, I mean, I understand that we want to have the parts that really listens to the network and responds and we need that part to be as fast as possible, as memory efficient as possible, because it's going to load a gigantic database of ASNs and IP and IP prefixes, etc. And we want it to be, okay, we want it to be extremely fast and optimized. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, there's also things like ASGI, but even ASGI is going to be slower. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do it async. I mean, there's the places that need to, that there's, I mean, the Rust thing is probably going to, like a well-written Rust implementation is going to be faster than a well-written Python implementation. But we didn't even go that far. So I agree that there might be a part that needs to be extremely fast, but I would do it the same way that the Python project does it, which is write it in Python, specify it in Python, make sure it does everything that you want in Python, and then optimize it in Rust, why not? And make sure that that the Rust implementation passes the same tests as the Python version. So you know you can switch one or the other, and they're functionally equivalent. And we don't, yeah, well, we sort of did have tests, except, yeah, we had some tests for some parts of the application, but not for the hard parts, not for all the scripts that were pushing files around from the logs on the mirrors to be parsed into the database and generating all the graphs and all the statistics and moving things around. All those didn't have any tests. And they probably don't have any tests. They still don't have any tests. The code coverage of MirrorManager is terrible. It's anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And we had to finish what was left like a year ago when Rail 7 started to be end of life. Well, was decommissioned more or less. So yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of work doing that. So thanks, by the way, for doing all that. Anyway, what was my thing? It was trying to get this optimized. Yes, so we have host category URL.private now, and host category dir. I think host category dir has, I think this one, yeah, I think this one has an index. Up to date. No way. It doesn't? Well, that's weird because I was looking at the code and I found one. I think there was one? Category there, where is it? Yeah, it isn't. There is an index. Uh-oh, so there is an index, but it wasn't applied? That's weird. Not models, lib versions or migrations? Migrations. Oh. That's great. So I'm going to generate migrations and I'm going to have way more than I expected. That's going to be great. That's fantastic. All right. Fun times ahead. Let me start the Vagrant VM because I'm going to need that. Okay. So, I'm going to create the index. Host category. Of course, if this one didn't have an index, then that's bad. I'm surprised, really. Anyway. Oh yeah, of course, that's going to be big. It's just a gigantic table, but... okay, let's see. what this query looks like now. By the way, I still need an index on host.country and host.name, because those are not, they are part of the order by, and that still need to be indexed. There's still a sec scan on up to date. So, oh, it's much better. It went down from 40,000 to 12,000. So it's much better. Let's keep going. Let's create the one that I was doing before. Create index host name IDX, and the other one host country IDX. Okay. Well, of course, if you add indexes, your query are going to be faster. Well, not every time. Okay, so we are reaching, yeah, that didn't change much, but that's fine. Okay. So we have a sec scan on category here, but I think that's okay. There's sec scan on host1. Sec scan on host category. Sec scan. Not sec scan. I mean, you get it. That would be. Anyway. Let's get this image out of my mind. So we have host. I mean, if I look at host category, it has to have, yeah, it has foreign key constraints, and it has indexes on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because there's still one more, right? There's one more, and that is repository.version_id. Let's look at repository. Version ID exists. That's a foreign key. Do I need something more? Well, let's look at our host now. Well, we have more. We have more indexes, of course. It's still weird because there's like, yeah, some things have compound primary keys. So I'm not sure we have an index on the parts of the components. Let's look at the joins. So I'm joining on site.siteID. I think that's fine. Site ID, okay. Do I need to add an index on external, on foreign keys? I'm not sure I do. Let's look at repository. Yeah. There is a version ID exists that references version ID. But do I have an index? It's weird. Why am I making this big query actually? It's not the query from the front page. I don't think that's the query from the front page. I don't think that's the query from the front page actually. Okay, let's look at the main MirrorManager and try to display the front page. Because I took a query from the log, but I assumed it was the one that was slow, but it's not actually the case. Maybe the threshold for slow queries is much higher than the time it takes for this query to run. Let's look at what we are actually executing then. Okay. We can log the queries. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Actually, let's choose the right template for this one. Yes. Okay. Same thing for this one. Let's use the right template instead of just making. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So data and okay. 0. It's the log statement. Does it run? We'll see. There you go. Two. MirrorManager 2. That stage the test. Yes, there you go. Okay. Oh wait, what? Am I not using? I'm not using PostgreSQL? Oh. Oh no, I'm not using Postgres. I'm using. I'm on a SQLite database probably. Yes, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. No. Where's my code? It's here. I'm just going to print it here and be done with it. Print final query. Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. What's my query? It's not logging anything. It's not printing things. Why is it not printing things? Maybe I missed it. Oh yes, that's because I'm not on the right page. There you go. Okay, so I have this now. Let's reformat it in a way that I can use. That might have been the right one, you know? Yeah, I think it was the right one. I'm gonna make a pause. I'll be back in a few minutes. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to turn my mic back on, but I'm still here. So I was looking at the query that was used to generate the front page, the front mirrors page, and it's not the exact same, but it's basically almost the same. So I'm just trying to do another explain analyze on this page now. And it's very slow. Maybe I forgot to press enter in some way, or what's happening. I'm still unsure, or maybe the server is being hammered. That's on staging, right? So it should be not impacted by the work, by the new release. Limit 20, offsets was 60. What's wrong? So this is the main, yeah. Why so slow? Okay, let me try something else. I'm going to remove the subquery. Select distinct host ID. Right, I'm removing this, removing the other. Let's see how that's, yeah. How fast is this? And above all, how many rows does it get me? Because I'm thinking that the distinct is not actually useful. It's very slow. Why so slow? Why so slow? It never was that slow. What's going on? Did I make a mistake? What's wrong? Let me, yeah, don't explain, just give me the result. Why is it so slow? I have no idea. I'm gonna go back in the So that's, is that my query? No, that's not my query. That's not the front page query that I'm looking at. Still not it. Still not it. And repository.version ID equal 8. That's not the one. No. 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 Huh. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I don't think I'm gonna get the actual query that's used on the front page in my slow queries log. And the other one is still not running. What's going on? Why is it not running? Something's wrong? Am I? What's going on? What's going on? So that works. It is responding something. No, I don't know what's going on here. It's just so immensely slow, I don't know why. Do I have the slow logs? Yep. It's going, you're doing great. Yep, thanks for passing by. It's always cool to have you here. See you there. I'm gonna run this select analyze thing and we'll be done with it. Yeah, it's kind of late now, so I think I'm gonna stop here. The what we get from this work, from this stream, is hopefully new indexes that are going to make things cleaner. If I look at Alembic -C MirrorManager 2 migrations. Where is it? Oh, lib migrations alembic.ini current. Oh, yeah. So right, it's currently at this state. Let's create a new revision and see what's in there. Okay, we have created a new revision. So what does it have? Create index from access stat requests. Okay, create here, create for admin active, create for host country, yes. Create for last scroll duration, yes. Host name, host private, user active. Repository prefix, sit admin, sit created at, sit name, sit private. And that's not all. That is not all. That's not all. There was one more. So, oops, yeah, I can remove that. Of course. Yeah, sorry about that. So there is one more. There was one on name, private admin activity created that. We've seen them in the revision. Created that? No. Created at. Oh, that's for site. Yes, site.created. Yes, yes, yes. Name private. Okay, cool. And now there's for host, there's name, admin active, relative country, yes. Private, yes. Last call version, yes. Prefix for the repository, yes. The timestamp, yes. The request. Oh, there's more. There's more. There's an up-to-date thing for host category dir, right? That's one thing that I did, right? Host country I did, host name I did. Up to date, yes. Category URL. So this one needs to have an index. Cool. And category URL. Host category URL.private, is that it? Yes. This one also needs. I should actually go through all the queries and look if they have the necessary indexes. What else did I change? Okay, so that's interesting because it didn't detect that in the revision. So that means which one is it? Which one is it? MirrorManager 2.db. Maybe that's a flaw on the staging site. It doesn't have it. Okay, so please create it. Please create one. So it host category URL dot up to date. That's fine, we can add it. Where's the private up to date? Okay. We add it and we remove it. Okay, what else did I create? So there was let's go for the create index. Host country, I have it. Host name, I have it. Host category dir up to date, I just added it. Wait, no, host category dir up to date. What did I do? Oh yes, I'm wrong. Host category dir up to date. Well, good thing I checked a second time. Hello, how are you doing? Host category URL private. Do I have it? I don't think I do. Yep, I don't. So I'm actually adding indexes to MirrorManager so that the front page loads faster because, well, not the front page, but the mirrors page loads faster because it doesn't have a lot of indexes actually at the moment. And I used Alembic to auto-generate them, but it doesn't seem to get all of them, which means that I might have forgotten to generate a revision last time I changes the model. Well, me or someone else, but possibly me. Okay, so I have those two now. And then, yeah, those I do have. I have the user active. There's like the 3 admin active, user active, yes. Name private, user active, admin active. Okay, cool. I think that's all. So I can definitely save that. And hopefully in the next revision we'll have more indexes. But I still need, I mean, if I wanted to do that, to do this properly, I would go into MirrorManager to lib init and look at all the queries and make sure that all of them have indexes. I can do that actually. It's just longer, and I don't think I do have the time for that, but because here I see that I'm making a query where I have directory.readable. That has to be true, so let's go to directory or readable directly Does it have an index? It does not have an index. That's incredible. I mean, how many indexes do we have here? That's just what I added. That's what I added. I just added that, I did that. Oh gosh. Repository.prefix, do we have this on production? Uh-oh. Ah, there's prefix arch ID. Oh wait, no, that's... Okay. Oh, there they are. The indexes. They have been added very weirdly. Okay, it's kind of weird to do it that way. But I suppose it's valid. Huh. It's weird. But, I mean, okay. But it definitely is not... Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing about this that... Yeah, okay. That might... Okay, so readable. Readable is not indexed. Oh, that's bad. I suppose directory.name, it's not indexed. Wow. Wow. Okay, it's missing a ton of indexes. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Well, we're model.directory.name like, and I don't have an index on it. That's gonna be bad. Okay. I still need to add one for model directory readable because it's apparently very much used. And one for name. So directory.name and .readable. Let's add it. Wow. Okay. Wow, okay, that's a lot of indexes to add. Let's keep going. Access stat category, name. Well, there's a unique index, so that's fine. Unique is an index, so that's all good. But the date. Ah, there is an index on that one. That's cool. Okay. That might be all the indexes we need. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot, my dear. Oh, wait. Something wrong? What's that? What's going on? What's wrong? Update the database schema graph. Ooh, good point. Oh, that's new. How does this work? I've tried to be smart here, I think. Interesting. No module named Flask. How is that possible? How is that possible? Because you are using SQL Alchemy Helper, so... Oh no! It doesn't necessarily. SQL Alchemy Helper doesn't depend on Flask. Let's see. Failed. Okay. And that was issue number... It was probably here. 473. Hopefully that's gonna make things faster. Well, okay, that was useless. There's a unique equal true. I don't need to have an index on that. Yes, let me amend this. Which one was it? 3.2. There you go. So I have name here. I don't need to have it to add index because there's already unique equal true. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Let me check what I did. Yes. 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 Okay, I think this should make things better. Much faster. Hopefully. And let's push it. And create a pull request. This change set adds some indexes on queries and that are in MirrorManager 2.lib.init. Queries that are okay. I think that's correct. I'm going to rebase it. Do it. Okay. Okay. All right. It's pushed. Well, I'm gonna wait for this to pass and I'll test it on staging, but that's gonna be next time. And I'm gonna stop there. So because I think we got to a point where we have something that is somewhat useful. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have questions about all this or MirrorManager or the rest of the Fedora infra, you know how to reach me. You can reach me on Mastodon with the handle that is up there, or on Fedora, on the Fedora Matrix server at fedora.im, and my name is Bompard, as you'd guess. All right, or the discussion forums as well. All right, see you next time, and thanks for passing by and enjoy. Goodbye.